Should the Raptors draft Bronny?
Mm, wow. I mean, so obviously there's such a huge excitement, right, with the name and with the idea that potentially this comes with LeBron. Like it looks really, I think, sexy on paper, but also I think it's pretty important to like separate the player from the name, right? And when you just look at the player itself, what NBA skills does Bronny have right now that would translate? And I think that you would look at ideally catch and shoot 3-point shooting, like he's not necessarily a pull up 3-point shooter, but can he be a catch and shoot kind of guy? He's got a 6'4" frame, 200 pounds. He's pretty strong. Obviously, he's LeBron's son. So he's got, just a really good physical base to be able to play basketball. He's compared himself a lot to, defensively sound 3-point kind of shooting guards. You look at like a Davion Mitchell, for example, he caught himself too. He liked Drew Holiday. Like, if it's somewhere in between that kind of thing, where it's like, okay, then yes, there is an NBA player there. I think if you're drafting him to be an offensive creator, he doesn't really have that in his game right now. Like, this doesn't say everything because a lot of players struggle in their first season in college, but like he had 3 games total where he scored double digits in college, right? So I think that there needs to be more development on that front. But like that's like the player itself. I think like in terms of the other things that come with it, I mean, there's no guarantee that LeBron comes with him. And even if he does, like what would happen, right? LeBron comes to the team and he kicks out all the young players and trade them for veterans. You probably don't.
You're saying Le GM's gonna show up?
I mean, has LeBron just shown up by himself as the player and was like, all right, I'm here to do whatever the coach says? Like, coach is probably gone. All the young players probably swapped out for veterans. And, you try to make a push for it. The East is weak, but ultimately, like, I don't think that's going to be enough. So it's a sexy idea for sure. But yeah, I mean, if you want to draft Bronny, it's really just like, what are you actually getting in the player himself rather than like everything else that comes with it?
Yeah, there's been reports that Bronny is only working out with the Lakers and the Suns, because I think the Suns have the 22nd pick in the draft, possibly their last draft pick until 2033. So they're
not even kidding.
They're really trying to strike gold here. And the Phoenix Suns are in the running for me as the funniest franchise in the league right now.
Yeah.
Because every year they're just going to fire their coach because there's literally nothing they can do with the roster because they're super trapped in the second apron. And like the thought is if they get Bronny, I think Governor Matt Ishbia thinks that's a path to getting LeBron to come to Phoenix, which honestly, I think is hilarious.
They don't even have money for LeBron to come to Phoenix. Like he'd have to like.
Yeah, would Bronny make more than LeBron?
I'm just saying. No, the funniest thing would be Bradley Beal making $50 million on top of all of this.
Bradley Beal is my guy, man. $50 million a year and a no trade clause. Like that is a wild finesse, man.
Yeah. The funny thing with Phoenix too is like their wish list is like maybe we draft Bronny, which maybe gets LeBron, but also I think like a 3-and-D guard is very much what they would need. And then their other reports this week is like, hey, they've loved TJ McConnell for a while. And I'm like, what are you looking for? What need do you have where you're like, I need Bronny or TJ McConnell, but whatever.
Oh man. I think, I do feel kind of just bad for Bronny too, because it's just the publicity side of it. It's going to be so hard to escape, obviously, being who he is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he's talked too about, I think he's backtracked a little bit about whether he wants to play with his dad. Not even backtrack, because I think LeBron was talking forever about how excited he was to play with Bronny.
Yeah.
And Bronny was kind of like, well, yeah, I'm not that excited about it. Which you can understand from his standpoint too.
Yeah. How old is Bronny? Like 19?
This is like if you had to work with Ronald every day. Like if you had to do a podcast with Ronald every day, how would you feel about that?
This guy calling him LeBronald.
Yeah, LeBronald is great.
LeBronald Lou.
But yeah, anyways, we'll see what happens with Bronny.
It's a shocker that a 19-year-old doesn't want to see his dad every single day.
It's like, yo, Taco Tuesday again, me, you, and JJ Redick. Oh man.